Inside Elon Musk's unbelievable private jet. Let's see inside Elon Musk's $70 million private plane, which he claims is the sole exception to his distaste for extravagances like boats and holidays. The jet was built in 2015, and Musk acquired it in 2016. It isn't Musk's first plane. The Tesla CEO also owns a Dassault Falcon 900B, which he bought in 2004. Amazon mogul Jeff Bezos and soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo reportedly own a Gulfstream G650ER. In an interview with Chris Anderson at the TED conference in April, Musk said he doesn't spend billions of dollars a year in personal consumption, but that the jet is an exception to his frugal lifestyle. Musk added that he doesn't own a home, a yacht, or take vacations. "I mean, the one exception is the plane, but if I don't use the plane, then I have less hours to work," he said in an interview. The plane, under registration N628TS, was in Austin, Texas on April 15th, according to a Twitter account that a teenager runs and tracks the location of Musk's jet. Musk and Tesla did not immediately reply to insiders' requests for comment. Prices for the jet start from $66.5 million. Operating costs are typically in the millions. Musk spent $700,000 on his private jet in 2018 alone, flying around the US, Europe, and Asia, according to flight records obtained by the Washington Post. Musk and his family flew on the plane for recreational getaways, the Post reported. Musk also used the plane to ferry him around the Los Angeles area as he made trips in and out of his former five-mansion compound. In 2018, Musk flew over 250 flights, logging more than 150,000 miles on the plane, per the Post. Using the jet typically racks up millions of dollars in operating costs. According to Corporate Jet Investor, an hour flying the G650ER costs an average of $3,662. The 99-foot-long jet has a customizable interior, according to Aircraft Exchange. A typical layout would have a forward galley, pictured above, and 4 living areas. The jet's interior shows what the interior of the jet looks like with this particular layout. The galley also has 2 storage compartments, a microwave, and a convection oven, the virtual tour shows. A touchscreen which controls parts of the plane is built into the front wall of the galley. The jet has 4 living areas. The main cabin comprises 10 seats and a sofa. The cabin's interior is designed with contrasting pale leather seats and wooden furnishings. The plane has 16 oval windows, which Gulfstream says are the largest in aviation. The seats have a footrest and can be partially reclined, the virtual tour shows. The seats can also be tilted to an angle to face each other or converted into beds. The jet typically has 2 television screens in the main cabin, one built in front of the galley and another in the middle of 2 windows. Fold-up tables are stowed at the side of the plane and can be combined to form a dining table. There are several compartments at the side of the plane, including fold-up tables. A storage compartment with an ashtray is also located beside the seats, the virtual tour shows. The armrest can be opened to access several controls, including overhead lights. Behind the main cabin is the VIP cabin with a sliding door for privacy. It is replete with a sofa, seat, and television. The jet has 2 bathrooms. The galley and the VIP cabin have 1 each. There are no showers on board. Luggage is stored behind the lavatory, where there is a dedicated cargo area. The aircraft in question is a Gulfstream G650ER business jet equipped with ADS-B, Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast Tracking Technology. Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, ADS-B, is an advanced surveillance technology that combines an aircraft's positioning source, avionics, and ground infrastructure to create an accurate surveillance interface between aircraft and ATC. It turns out that the Gulfstream G650ER is a favorite among tech entrepreneurs. Along with Elon Musk, the business jet is also used by Jeff Bezos. Its plush interior is one of its significant benefits, along with its range. The cabin is big enough to accommodate up to 19 people and can be customized to feature up to 4 living areas to work, dine, entertain, and relax. The cabin is finished in some of the finest materials, including the best quality leather and wood. The aircraft also has the most oversized windows in its class, 16 total. Next to each window is a handmade seat that can fully recline to convert into a comfortable bed. The automated Twitterbot. The automated Twitterbot used the technology to constantly track Elon's movements whenever he took to the sky. The G650ER is a crucial model in Gulfstream's lineup and has a starting price of $66.5 million. And it's likely Musk's costs more. It's also the largest Gulfstream business jet, although the upcoming G700 will soon snatch that title away. The G650ER is an extended-range version of the standard G650 and can fly 7,500 nautical miles, more than 8,600 miles, without refueling. It is powered by a pair of Rolls-Royce BR725 engines, giving cruising speeds up to Mach 0.925, 710 miles per hour, or 1,142 kilometers per hour. In 2019, a G650ER set a record by flying from Singapore to Tucson, Arizona in a single hop, covering a distance of 8,379 nautical miles, around 9,600 miles. As for the Tesla CEO, he covered a whopping 160,000 miles in his G650ER jet in 2018 alone. The G650ER has no equal regarding its incredible combination of speed and range. Worldwide, you just can't go farther, faster, and this record, the 2019 Singapore-Tucson flight, proves it. With 350 aircraft in service, the G650 and G650ER show day in and day out that they are class-creating and leading aircraft that set the standard when they were announced and continue to do so today. Simply put, all others follow, said Mark Burns, president of Gulfstream Aerospace. The billionaire executive's frequent travel on a private plane was primarily paid for by Tesla. This cash-burning automaker faces billions of dollars in debt and has laid off thousands of employees within the last year, slashing 7% of its workforce this month. Musk's jet logged more than 250 flights for his work, pet projects, and vacations across Asia, Europe, Latin America, and the Middle East during a year when he said his electric car giant was losing up to $100 million a week and teetered on the brink of collapse. But Musk's relentless schedule was eased by a level of convenience and luxury few but the unwealthy can afford. Some flights were recreational getaways for Musk or his family, while others involved moving the plane from one side of Los Angeles to the other to help Musk shorten his commutes. The company will face questions about its spending when it reveals its annual earnings report Wednesday. Investors will look closely to see whether Tesla will squeeze out a profit despite deep losses earlier in the year. The frenzy of air travel. The frenzy of air travel was a crucial part of Musk's journey to becoming a global celebrity, showing how suddenly his attention could switch between his ambitious ventures on cars in California, batteries in Nevada, tunnels in Chicago, and rockets in Florida. It provides a glimpse at the wildlife of America's most polarizing tech superstar, underscoring the chaos of a year in which he savaged his enemies as idiots and pedophiles, smoked weed during a live interview, and got sued by federal authorities accusing him of misleading investors, a move that cost him his chairmanship on Tesla's board. But it also reveals an awkward dynamic for one of the world's most outspoken crusaders of renewable energy. In September, a few days after calling fossil fuels the dumbest experiment in human history, his plane burned thousands of pounds of jet fuel flying 300 miles from LA to Oakland so Musk could view a competitive video gaming event. Tesla said Musk went to the video gaming event with these kids, but also met with a Tesla board member and went to work at 2 Tesla offices in Fremont before flying home. We know we'll run out of dead dinosaurs to mine for fuel and have to use sustainable energy eventually, Musk tweeted in November on the same day his jet flew over Mexico for what Tesla says was a personal trip. So why not go renewable now and avoid increasing risk of climate catastrophe? Musk was not made available for comment, but a Tesla spokesman said his heavy air travel was indispensable to doing business. Until we can teleport, there's unfortunately no alternative that would allow him to do his job as effectively, spokesman Dave Arnold said. Musk is worth more than $20 billion, but his companies have footed the bills for the jet's fuel, maintenance, crew, and other expenses. In a June financial filing, Tesla said Musk's rocket company SpaceX operated the plane and sent Tesla a tab worth roughly $700,000 in 2017. The company said Tesla does not cover the costs for Musk's trips and that Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla review the flights and agree on who pays for each trip. The company declined to estimate Musk's flight costs last year when data showed the jet's air travel increased. Tesla said it also covered the business expenses of a second aircraft owned by Musk, paying another $46,000 in 2017. Though Musk has often bemoaned soul-destroying traffic as the inspiration for his business interests in high-speed tunnels and self-driving cars, he has spoken little about his secret weapon for avoiding it, a 2015 Gulfstream G650ER that sells for about $70 million. It is one of the world's fastest and largest ultra-long-range executive aircraft. Only a few hundred have been made. The Post obtained the flight data from an industry official who provided it on the condition of anonymity and confirmed details through Freedom of Information Act requests with the Federal Aviation Administration. The data does not show who was on board during the flights, but aspects of Musk's travel were confirmed by his public appearances, interviews, and tweets. Musk is far from the only corporate leader to depend on the speed, flexibility, and privacy of flying across the world on a private plane, and his high-profile role as chief executive, visionary, and hype man for multiple companies helps explain why he would rely on it so heavily to get around. Tesla contested the description of Musk as a hype man and said he should instead be referred to as a hands-on problem solver, which would explain why he travels so much. But even compared to his peers, Musk's travel stands out. Amazon founder Jeffrey P. Bezos, another West Coast tech billionaire with worldwide business ventures and the same kind of Gulfstream jet, flew over 100 fewer flights than Musk did last year, a Post analysis found. Bezos owns the Washington Post. Apple, which made 19 times as much revenue as Tesla in 2017, paid roughly $93,000 for Chief Tim Cook to fly on private aircraft, a fraction of the $700,000 Tesla spent that year. Charles Elson, director of the John L. Weinberg Center for Corporate Governance at the University of Delaware, said Musk's travel was symptomatic of a troubling executive culture in which public shareholders pay for the high-profile trips of their company's superstar. Do the rank and file get to use the company plane for vacations? Do the rank and file get to use company property for personal purposes? Of course not. They're Tesla as much as he is, Elson said. This company has some real financial issues, and he's spending other people's money. Musk has characterized 2018 as an agonizing year for the companies he said teetered between life or death. The company's survival, he said, was due in large part to his Herculean workload and self-sacrifice, including sleeping on the Tesla factory floor and working 120-hour weeks. However hard it was for his employees, he told 60 Minutes, I would make it worse for me. But the flight records reveal some gaps in Musk's self-assessment of a ceaselessly excruciating year. In a New York Times interview last summer, Musk said he spent his 47th birthday working nonstop in the Tesla factory all night. No friends, nothing, before flying to his brother's wedding in Spain, saying he arrived shortly before the ceremony and left immediately afterward to rush straight back to work. The interview did not mention, however, that Musk left the ceremony on the Spanish coast and flew to Northern Ireland, where he visited the film set for the HBO fantasy epic Game of Thrones with his children and ate dinner at a Belfast pub, according to local media reports. Belfast is beautiful, Musk tweeted after the trip. That trip was 3 weeks after Musk announced Tesla would lay off about 3,500 employees, or about 9% of its workforce, as part of a reorganization he called difficult but necessary. A Tesla official said it was the Times' characterization, not Musk's, that he left immediately afterward, but that Musk cut short his participation in wedding festivities scheduled to last several days. Federal Aviation Administration records show that the jet is registered to a subsidiary of SpaceX called Falcon Landing, named for its reusable rocket. Musk or his associates took an additional step, common among top business executives, to request the travel not be logged on public flight tracking databases. Many of the flights took off from or landed at LA's Van Nuys Airport, a short drive from the tiny neighborhood of Bel Air, where Musk owns 5 separate mansions. On an August drive to his jet there, Musk told The Times that he tweeted that Tesla had the funding secured to be taken private, a market-shaking promise that ultimately fell flat. Musk and Tesla later agreed to pay a $40 million settlement and institute new safeguards to resolve a Securities and Exchange Commission case alleging Musk had misled investors about the deal's prospects. Musk's jet flew roughly 75 times last year to the San Jose airport, the closest stop to Tesla's headquarters in Palo Alto and car-making factory in Fremont, where Musk often said he was so busy he would end up sleeping among the machines. Dozens of other flights were made to airports near SpaceX's headquarters in Hawthorne, California, and the battery-producing gigafactory outside Reno, Nevada. Tesla said Musk never used the plane to fly between different spots in Los Angeles, but the jet would fly to meet him at a closer airport if he began his workday at SpaceX's office on the south side of LA, and the plane was on the north side, the company said. The aircraft data shows that some repositioning flights only went about 20 miles. Musk's trips could be a whirlwind of business pursuits, with his role quickly switching from one venture to the next. In early June, Musk flew to a SpaceX office outside Seattle, where he fired several high-ranking officials working on a satellite project, unnamed company employees told Reuters. The flight records show Musk returned to California shortly after, and within days was on a flight to Chicago to advocate alongside Mayor Rahm Emanuel for a government-backed tunnel system built by Musk's new tunnel transit business, the Boring Company. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel talks about constructing a high-speed transit tunnel with engineer and tech entrepreneur Elon Musk of the Boring Company. But the jet also allowed Musk to skip commercial air travel when he took some time off. In the first 3 months of 2018, a quarter during which Tesla's investor pressures were boiling over and the company burned through more than $1 billion in cash, the jet flew more than 50,000 miles, including for a vacation in Chile, a tour of the set for the HBO robo-drama Westworld in Texas, and a spring break trip with his kids to Jordan and Israel. Musk has shown few signs of sticking to a leaner flight itinerary. He ended 2018 the way he began it, with an international flight, a private business trip to Shanghai. So this was all from today's video. Make sure you have a hit the bell icon for upcoming videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.